Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. These timeless words by Malcolm X highlights the enduring value of education as the foundation for personal growth, national development, and lasting success. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Edu Dialogue on Voice of the People Television, the program where we examine critical issues in the education sector, analyze policies and reforms, as well as spotlight innovations shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and across the world. I'm Matthew Ogunswada. Today on the program, we explore how sustainable investments, innovative policies, and greater accountability can strengthen the education sector. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has urged state governments to increase investment in education, describing the sector as a catalyst for Nigeria's future development. Speaking at an executive retreat organized by the Committee of State Commissioners for Education in Nigeria, in collaboration with the Nigeria Governors Forum, state government, and the Federal Ministry of Education in Abuja, the minister stressed that sustainable national development depends on a strong foundation of quality education. He called on states to prioritize quality, access, and infrastructure by investing in instructional materials, improving school facilities, and recruiting more teachers. Dr. Alausa also emphasized the effective use of school census data to strengthen planning and monitoring, noting that a robust basic education system is essential for developing the skilled workforce Nigeria needs. Now, joining me to discuss this is Mr. Nelson Kingsley. Mr. Nelson Kingsley is an accomplished executive business coach, is a strategic management consultant, is a leadership development expert, and director of Learn to Live Business School. Good afternoon, Kingsley, and we're very glad to have you join us on the program.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, the Minister of Education has described education as a catalyst for Nigeria's future. How significant is increased investment in education to the country's overall development?
Okay, increasing the investment, I don't think is a challenge. Yes, is a need. There's a need to increase investment. But I think the major thing there is the policies we have in respect to education. How effective have we implemented those policies? Are they functional? Let's start from there. He's a minister. He has the capacity to say this is not working, this is working. That's just one part. But if we are to be sincere when it comes to education, it's not just the funding. If I'm to say personally, my opinion, there will be need to start all over again. Think that's just where to start from. Start all over again. Yeah.
All right, Doc, do you think that state governments are currently investing enough in education? And what areas requires the most urgent attention?
Okay, for the word investing has a whole lot around it. They're investing in education, but I think the real point there is, are they investing in the right education? I think that's the major point. Are they investing in the right education? Education that is needed at this time. So it is one thing to invest, it's another thing to invest in the right place and get the needed return. It's another thing to also invest in the right place and follow it up with all the KPIs to get the right return. So these are the elements that guide investments.
All right, the minister also emphasized improving school infrastructure, instructional materials, and teacher recruitment. Which of these should state begin to prioritize and why?
Okay. The infrastructure, beautiful. But when it comes to instructional materials and recruiting teachers, for me, we're not getting it right. The question is, who are you recruiting? Which instructional material is he going to use? Is it the material that was developed 50 years ago? Or is it the material, or is it the teacher that is not well trained to teach? Let me be sincere with us. Most of the people that teach today are what I call the 30-day teachers. How do I mean by 30-day teachers? They're just waiting for salary. They are just there as teachers waiting to, they're using it to just to stay while they are looking for somewhere else. I mean, they are in class applying for jobs somewhere else. So these are not people that are called to teach. Teaching is a calling. Teaching is something that you devote yourself into. So as I speak, most of the modern teachers or the younger ones that are into teaching are not ready to even do teaching. So they're using it to while away time because of the level of unemployment. So teaching becomes a waiting hold for them. That's just simple truth. So if we are to go back, two things we need to, like I said earlier, look at the curriculum completely. Maybe as time goes on, like we can go into that. Then the people that are going to teach, we need to prepare them again. We need to retool them again if we're going to get it right. So it's not about recruitment.
Okay, sir, you mentioned something about curriculum, and I would just like to ask you, how do you think government can ensure that transparency and accountability is well ensured so that funds allocated to the education sector are used efficiently and they are able to achieve measurable input? And then in what aspect do you think the curriculum needs to be overhauled for significant development?
Okay, I love the word input because all you mentioned is about input and output. However, between input and output, there's a what called process. Now, the reality is this, both for accountability, getting the right results, curriculum, on a personal ground, where we should be learning is in primary school. I mean, the ABC and the rest of them. For primary 3, primary 4, 5, and 6, there should be skilled work at that level. Now, from JS1 to SS3, there should be production of minor things that we use in our society. Things like toothpick should be produced in secondary school. Those small things. Then at the university level, we should be talking of coming into the university level to run a full enterprise, a full organization, a full company at the university level. Each university in Nigeria should be a production center. Depends on the area. I will still talk more on this. Now, if we have that in mind, then all the curriculum will change. The curriculum we're using today is no longer fitting for the realities of today and that of the future.
Okay, Doctor, I want you to talk to us that beyond increased funding and curriculum review, what are the key reforms that are needed to transform Nigeria's education sector and make it globally competitive?
I've given us one already. By transforming the secondary school and the university into organizations. What I mean organization? Business entities. The secondary school will focus on smaller things we use. I gave an example like toothpick, production of toothpick, production of daily things, tissue, and the rest of them. Then while the university will focus on production of things like cars, just mention them. It simply means that a company like Toyota will come into Nigeria. They don't need another massive land somewhere. They will get into all the engineering universities in Nigeria that said, yeah, I mean, into engineering. They find out that the area of strength, know what they can produce. They'll probably cover like 10 or 20 universities for production of their car. So if this university can produce only doors, this one can produce only boats. So can produce, by the time they cover the 10, they are producing, they have a car manufacturing assembly in one or two of them. At that point, the issue of whatever curriculum will just die naturally because the curriculum will change. Those students are no longer be seen as students. They are now seeing themselves as employee of the university. That also moves me to those who will be teaching. The current lecturers will move to the normal, regular federal government or state government work. They will now bring in those who have practical capacity to run as engineers. I hope you're seeing the process of the reform I'm giving. This is what will save Nigeria. Now, for those that agriculture, College of Agriculture, university that are focused in agriculture, you choose the kind of crops that you have capacity for. Those in the south, southeast, north, and all that. By the time they come together, in 5 years, Nigeria alone can feed at least half of the global population. Agriculture alone. So the same way, the same cut across other areas of the university. I'm telling you, if you do that in the next 10 years, Nigeria will be ranking among the first 5 globally.
All right. With unemployment remaining a major challenge, how can Nigeria's education system be redesigned to equip students with entrepreneurial and business skills that enable them create jobs rather than only seek employment?
You don't need to equip students to create jobs. What you need to do is to create the system that creates jobs. How? I've given you an example. Think of it from this point. Primary 1, 2, 3, getting into primary 4, I was opportune to fix my table as a primary school student. I was opportune to produce toothpick. I was opportune to produce small items in the house, the earbuds and the rest of them. Then I now get into the university as a student. Remember, I'm paying school fees. Now, instead of me coming to the university just seeing all the board, let me say I'm in school of engineering or computer science, just mention any area, textile, just mention it. I step in there in my year 1. I do class 2 times in a week. I do the other 3 days in the week. I'm in the factory. My classroom is a factory. Now, I've learned how to, maybe let's say textile. I've learned how to cut clothes in year 1. I've learned how to sew it in year 1. In year 2, I become so good in year 2 on knitting and everything about clothes, suits, shirts, tie, just mention them. By year 3, I'm already being part of those that discuss how to sell these clothes, export it, and all that. By year 4, which is my graduation year, I'm already coming out as a full brand clothing person. Sir, will I look for a job again? 2 things will happen. If my parents are good enough, as far if they have the money, I will set up my own factory even from year 3 in my location as I'm leaving the school. Year 3 already. Then if my parents are not buoyant enough or giving money for factory, or I don't have a loan for factory, I already have a business line. I will join the value chain of distributing those materials sewn and produced in my school to other nations, to areas that are not that's need for it. So I'm already in business. So telling us to equip you for entrepreneurship and all that, no. Let the school on its own be an entrepreneurial center that creates a value chain from beginning to the end, down to exportation. Then I will come and become part of the value chain naturally. So if you do that, unemployment will die naturally.
It's interesting that you mentioned the role of school, Mr. Nelson. And I would just like to ask you, what role should entrepreneurship education, vocational training, and stronger partnerships between schools, industries, and private sector play in preparing students for today's digital economy?
Beautiful. I love what you said now. I said something earlier, may sound controversial, maybe like a controversy, but the truth is this: if you allow the minister will listen to this, I will plead with him. If we must get it right, let every single lecturer we have today who have not run business before or who does not have a business that is running leave the school system. Redeploy them. Now bring in people who are already running organizations. I will give you an example. Do you know what it will look like if someone like Tony Lumelu is running banking department in the school? Jimovia is running banking department of a school. You think they will be teaching banking the normal way? No. I was opportune during my days in the high institution because I was working, I was going to school. I stepped into the class one day. The man was teaching us loan and all that. And the way he was teaching was totally off. It was a combined class of all the faculty of science and faculty of art and that. Over 500 students, or even up to 1,000, if I can remember. I don't know what within me. I just say, sir, this is not the current loan process and all that. The whole class went dead. He asked, who is supporting this young man? Just one person out of about 500 to 1,000 students. And the person said, because of his background, he gave me the marker. So I come and teach. Started teaching them how to, the short-term loan, the long-term loan, the duration, how to, the percentage, the 57%, the 33%, and I broke it down. There and there, he made me the course rep. Now, I was able to do that because experience I have. But every single person in that room is learning what was written 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Will it be useful? The answer is no. So I'm simply advocating for entrepreneurs to be useful. Bring them into the school. Convert the school into companies. It's as simple as that. So what they do outside, they bring it in and do inside the school. So they are producing entrepreneurs in different areas, down to health sector. That's the only way out. Then our basic current lecturers should be moved to civil service and also be encouraged to come and start their own businesses. Just a switch and things will get right. You may not do 100% switch, but at least let's do it 50-50 or 30-70 or even 20-80. 20 raw entrepreneurs, 80 of raw entrepreneurs, 20 of administrators, so that we can still maintain the school curriculum, the school environment, and all little administrative work, and we are good to go. That's simple as that.
All right. Thank you so much. Nelson Kingsley is an accomplished executive business coach. He's a strategic management consultant. He's a leadership development expert and director of Learn to Live Business School. Nelson, thank you so much for your contribution on the program.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We look forward to having you some other time.
I hope they will listen and start implementing. That's all I'm asking.
Thank you
With this,
so much.
Nigeria is very good.
Yeah.
We have all it takes to get it right, yes. But we need to get the right people, to drive this reforms. It's not about grammar. It's not about the laws. It's about doing the right thing. And once we start in our own little corner, that's what we are already doing. Yes. So if they can do this, give us 5 years, we will rule the world.
We will rule the world. Yeah, Nigeria will definitely rule the world, and Nigeria will.
We have the capacity. We have the human being. It's just to put the necessary laws. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much again, Kingsley Nelson. Yes. All right. Thank you. You're still watching Edu Dialogue on Voice of the People Television. We'll take a quick break and return with top stories in Nigeria's education sector. Do join us again.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens. Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Join us on People's Voice, where we amplify the voice of those that matters the most. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts with me. I am Xavier Udo. Weekdays, Monday through Friday, from 4 p.m. to 5. Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns. Thank you.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apelon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
Step into a world where stories unfolds, secrets unravel, and dreams come alive. Every story has a legacy. Every legacy holds the power to inspire. A unique interview series that celebrates the lives of Nigeria's elder statesmen and women through their remarkable journeys in the military, diplomacy, public service, academia, medicine, and beyond. Conversation that transcends generations, offering guidance to youth leaders, diplomats, technocrats, and future change makers. We unveil the wisdom, resilience, and achievements that shapes our nation and the world. Join us every Sunday on Voice of the People television. Reminiscence, legacies that leads the way, stories that lives on.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Novisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarate is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Glad to have you join us again. Let's now bring you top stories in Nigeria's education sector. The federal government has launched 2 new education data platforms, Nigeria Education Data Infrastructure and Digital National Education Management Information System, to track learners, teachers, and school infrastructure in real time. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa said the platform will support President Tinubu's $1 trillion economy agenda and improve planning. He also announced increased hazard and uniform allowances for university workers and noted that over 1 trillion naira has been invested in tertiary education in the last 2 years. The Lagos Business School has celebrated the 11th anniversary of its Young Talents program, marking over a decade of nurturing young leaders through career mentorship, leadership development, and intensive training for outstanding graduates. Speaking at the event, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic of Pan Atlantic University, Professor Uche Nauzo, alongside other speakers, urged participants to pursue lives driven by purpose, authenticity, and meaningful impact, stressing that a clear sense of mission is key to lasting success.
There are young talents and then there are younger talents. We needed the young ones, not the younger ones yet. Okay? So we went ahead, we had the program, we were amazed at the impact because it ended up not just being a program for bringing in talent, but it became a big mentorship platform, serious mentorship platform for young, bright, talented leaders of Nigeria.
In an age when machines can generate answers in seconds, the rarest and the most valuable things in the room are still profoundly human. Judgment, character, empathy, the wisdom to ask the right questions, not merely to accept the fastest answer.
YTP has been an engagement that has given chances and voices to the deserving of this great country and the continent of Africa at large. And we are here to celebrate not just 11 years of its existence, but the vision behind it.
I've built a community of young insurance professionals, building on YTP's model of over 2,000 students, 500 active WhatsApp members. That is exactly what YTP can give you.
Panelists also challenged participants to critically examine the growing influence of artificial intelligence, encouraging them to embrace AI as a tool for learning and innovation while preserving independent thinking, creativity, and sound judgment.
To the younger generation, AI has leveled the playing field for you. There's no limitation. To the older generation, yes, the rules have changed, but it's also here to make your work and your life a lot easier. Think of it as a co-pilot, that you are well experienced for sure, but then the capabilities to deploy that experience at scale is provided to you by artificial intelligence.
How will you excel is how you develop yourself as a professional, which means how well you're able to continue to learn and relearn as a professional, but how well you can self-moderate and how well you can take in what is going on around you.
Brilliance to that intelligence that it is outputting. I think that would make people stand out everywhere, any day, anytime. That you are able to say, this is the output, but you are able to bring in some brilliance from your own self and fine-tune very, very well, such that it doesn't look like you are regurgitating what every Tom, Dick, and Harry would regurgitate.
And to wrap up the news, let's tell you the Nigerian spoken word artist, poet, and Lagos State University alumnus Victory Ashaka has released his debut spoken word single titled A Moving Man, marking a significant milestone in his creative journey. The project, now available on major digital streaming platforms, reflects the growing influence of Nigerian graduates who are using creative art and digital media to share compelling, personal, and cultural narratives. And what? Ashaka encouraged listeners to stream the project and invited students, young creatives, and content creators to use the audio in their digital content, helping to expand the reach of spoken word poetry and inspire greater appreciation for the art form. And that's a wrap on Edu Dialogue on Voice of the People Television. Today, we explored how sustainable investment, innovative policies, and greater accountability can strengthen the education sector. As Nigeria continues to invest in its greatest asset, inclusive education will remain critical to building a more prosperous, resilient, and sustainable future. For more insights and in-depth discussion, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and across all social media platforms, you can find us at VOP TV Live. If you witnessed news or events in your communities, we would love to hear from you. Please share your eyewitness report, event coverage requests, photos and videos with us on WhatsApp on 0814-606-4057. You can also email our newsroom at news@vop.ng. I'm Matthew Ogunswada. Join us next week as we continue to spotlight the ideas, policies, and people shaping Nigeria's education sector. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you the same time next week. Bye for now.